Hello, my fellow coders. Today, in today's tutorial, I'm going to be teaching you the basics of Python. So we're going to be going over comments, print functions, variables, and data types. Without further ado, let's begin. So in Python, a comment is like a note, and we start a comment or comment a comment by using a hashtag. So a comment is not read by the compiler in Python, meaning it's not executed, it's just used as a note. They can be really handy if you're working in a team of programmers that is, and can be used almost as like communication. They can also go before chunks of code to kind of tell you about the chunk of code. The next thing I want to talk about is printing. So in Python, to print, you just type print, open bracket, and then it really depends what you want to print. There are different data types, which I'll get onto in a minute, but for now, we're just going to print hello world. Then run it. See down here in the terminal, you have hello world. And basically what this is doing is it's telling it to print whatever is inside these speech marks to the terminal. Now, I mentioned that there were different types of data, so different data structures that you could use, and there are. So, for example, there are strings, which are words or things with speech marks around them. So, hello is a string. 9 in that case is a string because it has speech marks around it. 3 plus 4, that's a string because it has speech marks around it. We can also use these speech marks, and that's still a string. Anything that has speech marks around it is a string in Python. The next one are integers. An integer is any whole number, so for example 67, 5, 7, 3, 2, 97, 44, 55. They're all types of integers because they're whole numbers. The next are floats, and this stands for floating point, and they are decimals, any number with a decimal place basically. So 34.0, 44.9, 2.07, 3.67, 79.12. They're all examples of floats because they have that decimal point in them. The fourth type of data that I'm going to be going over is Boolean. So that's true or false, off or on, yes or no. So we've got true or false. Off or on. Yes or no. We'll just change this round so that now we have all the false ones on this side and all the true ones on this side. Next, what if you want to print an integer or a float? To print an integer, float, or variable for that matter, you don't put speech marks around it because then it's a string. So if I wanted to print 34, the integer 34, I wouldn't put speech marks around it, and you see there, prints 34. If I wanted to print a float, see there, I won't put speech marks around it and it prints the float. I can obviously put speech marks around it, but then it becomes a string and therefore cannot be used in mathematical operations. Then Boolean. true or false. Not true. False. What about mathematical operators? So they are things like adding, dividing, subtracting, multiplication. Is that used for math? We'll just put maths operators. So, mathematical operators are things like adding, which is the addition symbol. Then we have subtracting. Then we have the asterisk is multiplication. And we have the forward slash as division. So let's say we wanted to print 13 or 23 minus 3. Then we wouldn't put any speech marks around it because then it becomes a string. So do this, and you see there, prints 20. We could also put in 54.9 minus 0.9, for example. That's going to give us 54. Notice you get that 0.0. Whenever you add or subtract or times anything that has a float in it, the answer will always come out a float. To change that, all you want to do is just put an int around it, like so. But that's kind of for another video. But there you see it turns it into an integer. That's it for today's video. Thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed, please consider dropping a like and subscribing. It really helps out the channel. I hope this has helped. Please leave your feedback in the comments if you had any, and I'll see you in my next video. Thank you.